UBZs best recognize when a real one speaks, spitting nothing but facts and gospel. You're listening to the E.I.T.H.R with D-Cal. For Sheezy, he be the truth.
And happy evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy D-Cal here on the E.I.T.H.R podcast, brought to you here by Mild Clothing Line, GNS Promotions, and my Datora by the lovely Candace Romero, not Bacon Bit. Anyway, how's everyone doing? I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody that's listening to all the download, to people supporting. Very much appreciated, man. This is episode number 8 here on the E.I.T.H.R podcast. You can follow us on social media. Instagram and Twitter has the same handle at E.I.T.H.R. And we're about to get into some stuff right now. So I just wanted to get that out the way right now. I like to open up the podcast usually with some words of encouragement for everybody that's out there. But right now, we're going to get straight to the elephant in the room. Speak of the devil, what's been going on for the past couple of days. All right. Y'all ready to listen?
My man.
All right. Let's get straight to it then. Texas. I mean, damn, right? Southern California. What's going on with y'all? This is we seem to be a society, man, that just can't get it together. I don't know. We choose not to. We don't want to, but we definitely going to touch into that. Rest in peace to the fallen in Buffalo, New York, and to the babies in Texas, and to the churchgoers that were in Southern California. I mean, listen, I'm all about anybody owning a gun. Second Amendment is there for a reason. Like Dave Chappelle said, in case the first one don't work out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, as people would say, you can go all willy-nilly with the Second Amendment. I feel there needs to be a little bit more organization. Background checks is cool, but that doesn't always guarantee you something, because there's a lot of people who have no mental history, no mental illness history, no criminal history, that can mask it, if you will. They can mask it very well, and you would never know what's going on, what the deal is. And so it's very crucial that we tighten up the hinges a little bit on who can and how easy is it to get access to owning a firearm. I don't necessarily see the need to own an assault rifle if you're in the city. Now, I get it. Some friends of mine, they do hunting, so they use it for that sport. I understand that, but I feel there should be some type of mandate on people using assault rifles that's not meant for what the assault rifle is meant for. There's no reason for you to be living in the city limits of a major metropolitan area with an assault rifle or assault rifles in a highly condensed populated city. I don't see the logic in that. I think that's a little bit of this is a very bad analogy, but I think bad pun, but I think it's overkill to have that. So, I feel that we do need to tighten it up. We need to, make it a little bit more contingent. I saw a post earlier that basically said, for 18-year-olds or anybody like that who wants to purchase a gun kind of do the same criteria you do for women when it comes to abortion, right? It sounds funny. It sounds, humorous and hilarious, but at the same time, if a female has to go through so much red tape to do something that's natural, that's with her body, her choice, her call, then why can't owning a firearm be a little bit more restricted than just going and getting a gun? California is a 10-day hold period, so, cooling off period. So you gotta wait till the 11th day to get your pistol that you purchase. I know when I lived in Oregon, you go in there with your state ID, you walk out same day with the gun. No questions asked. So, but if a woman wants to do something she feel is necessary for her and the unborn child, then that's different. And it kind of ties right back into the importance of life, right? Because there were, what they say, 19 people dead in Texas from that shooting. 2 of them teachers. The rest of them were 10, 11-year-olds. So don't give me this shit about how, the life of a fetus is so precious, but yet nothing's being done for the children that lost their lives. I mean, and if you don't believe me, just a decade ago we had Sandy Hook out there in Connecticut, right? So there's all kinds of different things we can look at to sit back and say that we as a country, we need to go ahead and tighten everything up, but we not. And the bottom line is because politics, money, that's the reason. It's politicians who are in bed with these lobbyists and these different businesses and organizations that they don't want to lose their vote. They don't want to lose that power. They don't want to lose that say so. So they'll give us the poker face of being concerned and they're doing everything, but on the back end, they're not going to do anything. Why would they? Again, if I'm getting X amount of dollars or guaranteed X amount of votes, or I'm guaranteed a certain position in a political battle to win, my electoral state, territory, or whatever the case is, I can't burn that bridge. Understand something, man. In my opinion, and this podcast is strictly just my opinions and my viewpoint on certain things, but we as a people, we need to understand that the government doesn't give a fuck about us. They don't. They honestly, truly, really don't. When it comes down to it, man, it's a difference between emotion and logic. And when it comes to economy and life, the government, we're a business. We are no more than just a business to them. That's it. Okay? The economy flows, the economy grows, and that's all they care about. And it shows. It doesn't matter what happens. And the only reason why they'll do anything to make a change is because it affects the economy. It has nothing to do with your life. It has nothing to do with my life. It has everything to do with making sure that this business, they call it government, in America functions. Listen, left wing, right wing, what the fuck does it matter if it represents the same bird? It doesn't matter. Because even if you are a conservative or you are a liberal, your main point is getting everything done that your political side benefits the most from. Flat out. That's the bottom line. So when it comes to guns and crime, they're going to give us the lip service that they're concerned, but they can't afford to be because of the money that is involved. If we truly, and I think I said this in my episode 1 or 2, if we truly want to get rid of government control, which, there's different levels of that, we as a people would need to come together and create our own method of how to live in a society. There was a video I saw of this gentleman who was in the military. I think he did 2 tours of, gosh, I can't remember what war it was. I think he was like in Alabama. Anyway, my man's was 100% off the grid. 100% off the grid. He grew his own food. He grew his own vegetables. He built his own grids. So he had his own electricity. He and his girl had a filtration system where they would collect rainwater and it filtered out everything else. So it was functioning like legitimate. This man did not need to go anywhere but to work and home. Everything they need was on their acreage. And government got wind of it. Man came and told him he had to stop. But man was like, I'm not going to stop. In so many words, like, I'm not going to give up on this. Why? I don't need your electricity. I have my own. I don't need your water. I have my own. I don't need your food. I have my own. Everything's grown. We do it ourselves. Basically, they came back and told him that it wasn't FDA. Some of the requirements of FDA. I think that's what it was. And that if he continued with his methods, that they were going to basically evict him off his property and land and deem him as trespassing. My man was like, look, I served X amount of years and went through 2 wars for this country to fight for the very freedom that they're telling me that I'm not allowed to have. Because why? They don't get a piece of it. Anything that's illegal is only illegal because the government cannot get a chunk of that. Remember, for decades, marijuana was illegal. But the moment they learned how they can tax it, now you got distilleries like almost every 5 blocks from each other. You can get an ounce of weed for $30, which I'm not even a big time smoker. And I know that that's just the shit you sweep off the floor and you put in a Ziploc. $30. That's what that is. But anything the government touches, they ruin because they're so out of touch with what's going on. Listen, man, they are trying to run an updated world with outdated laws. And the reason why they refuse to change it, whether you believe this or not, ladies and gentlemen, but my opinion, they refuse to change it because not only are they outdated with everything, but as long as they follow these initial rules and regulations that they got, they'll always have means to incarcerate. They always have means to find you. They always have means to do something to get into your pocket to keep their money full. Okay, I respect the military. I was having a conversation with several different people that I know who are, whether they're Navy, whether they're Marine, whether they're Army. They both, all 3 people said the same thing. The military ain't shit but the U.S. government's muscle. And whenever the government feels like flexing, that's what they call it in. And I know it's oversimplified. I get that part. But there's so many people within the U.S. government, right? And within these people within the U.S. government, each person has their own agenda. So I want you to take 600 backstabbing motherfuckers, put them all in one big building. And then you can either have your own side agenda, you can partner up with some people to have their own group agenda, and then you also try to do your own political agenda. So everyone's walking around on broken glass and eggshells because everybody has a back alley deal with somebody to try to outdo somebody else. I know it's a TV show, I know it's fictitious, but have you ever seen the show on Netflix, House of Cards? It kind of gives you a dramatized version of what it's like. In my belief, and from people who I know in Washington, D.C., it's kind of like that. It's not like Scandal, but it's more like House of Cards. Everybody's trying to get theirs. And it doesn't matter who they got to step on or step over or step behind to make that happen. Everyone's trying to get to the top of the food chain. And everybody's got dirt on each other and they use it as a leverage. So with that said, a lot of the things that we want to get rid of, we can't. Because some of those things are also funding and funneling some of the businesses that help the community. So the government is so out of touch and they're not going to change anything because of how deep their fingers go into the pot. And if they do, it would just ruin it for them. Not to mention, it would ruin the economy for us too, because a lot of things that we look at will go away. It would cease to exist. So, you know those memes where it has people saying, "Would you live in this haunted house for 30 days with no water, no electricity, no internet, no cell phone, but you'll get, $30 million." And everybody wants to talk about how yes, they will, right? Well, for the past 3 years, we've had COVID, where you've been stuck in your own house with water, with food, with electricity, with internet, with cell phone, and you were going stir crazy. You need to be careful about what it is you ask for, because you may fuck around and get it and realize you don't like the taste at all. So you got to be careful with that. That's why I said when the government gets involved with anything, they ruin it. But it's the only thing we know is this chaos that they orchestrated and organized, and they keep it that way. As a people, I think that if we came together and kind of organized our own thing, quote unquote, within the laws of your county, your city, your town, your state, the government might get a little worried, because you're now becoming self-sufficient. Because remember, like I said earlier, we're children to them. They believe we need them. We can't function without them. This is the mindset I'm banking that they have about people. We cannot function without the U.S. government. We need them for our guidance and our direction. But again, they're so out of touch. Outdated rules in an updated world. And anytime we complain to them, they don't hear what you're saying because they're too busy looking at the analytics and the numbers and the percentages that their people shows them on a chart. And that's what they speak on. That's what they hear. That's what they listen to. So when they send you X amount of money because of some type of funding or some type of assistance or some type of aid, in their mind, this is what you need to survive. Everything else that you're talking about is extra and you can live without it. They don't grasp it because they don't go through it. And they're, again, not to be long-winded, only going off what they're being fed. So I feel that we as a people need to take into our own hands how to govern our own communities. Now that's going to be tricky because there is no one right way of doing it. There's a multitude of different ways. And I feel people need to be open to understand your response may not be the best response for every single body. And that's crucial to be open with that. Because you might live in a community with people who have a certain belief, and is maybe a belief that's different than mine. That doesn't make them wrong. It just means, okay, I need to learn how to adapt to this as well. And you also kind of figure shit out from different people, and you see it from a different angle, and you see it from a different perspective that helps you learn to be able to cope and adapt and relate to people outside of your community as well, outside of your bubble. Okay? So I don't believe guns need to be taken away from people. I sincerely do not. But I do believe that guns need to be a little bit more challenging in having access to them. That's for damn sure. I just feel, like I said, man, you got 18-year-old buying assault rifles and then going to elementary schools. Oh, and then there was a report of another teenager the day after the shooting who was caught with guns at a high school, in which he was planning on shooting up as well the day after out in Texas. There was I just saw yesterday in Roseville, California, which is out here by Sacramento, a kid threatened to shoot up a school. So it's scary because we live in a world right now where people want to do things for shock value. They want to do things for views, for clicks, for likes, and for follows. But the problem with that is we can also get lulled to sleep by not taking it serious when something happens. We could have stopped it. But then we also got to be aware that if we take it too serious, some people can be using it as a distraction or a smokescreen or just for shits and giggle. So you kind of got to, it's interesting, man. I got to take this for a sponsor right quick, and then I'm going to bring something else up.
CEO of E.I.TH.R Development Group, and you're listening to the E.I.TH.R podcast hosted by E.I.TH.R. Let's get it.
So like I was saying earlier, man, when it comes down to the gun thing, we got to do something because this is just getting ridiculous when it comes down to all the violence that's going on. So yeah, I also want to give a shout out to my homegirl Sherelle Dion. She's an admin for the Facebook group of Business Lounge for Successful Entrepreneurs. It was a pretty large group that I was blessed enough to join. I knew her some years later with Twitter, and we kind of rekindled a little bit again on social media. And so now it's one of those things where it's a rest haven for entrepreneurs and people trying to network. I've always been a proponent growing up in the Bay Area, where a lot of the artists that a lot of us know now, they were crabs trying to help other crabs get out of the barrel, if that makes any sense. They were artists who, if I'm able to get on someplace, I'm going to bring you with me, right? Because if I'm eating, then we're all going to get full. And so this is a spot that I feel is definitely one of those things where you network with a couple of people here. I think everyone's going to help each other survive and blow up a little bit. So I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to that page again on Facebook. It's Business Lounge for Successful Entrepreneurs. And so it's Sherelle Dion. She's the admin for that. If you can search for that page, get a request, and if you're lucky enough to join in, it's a group of powerful people, and everybody's trying to get to the same destination. And I feel, you are the company that you keep. And so if we all can sit at the round table with a story to tell about how we helped each other out, that's one of the greatest success stories anybody can do. So I just want to go ahead and do that. GNSETV. I know a lot of you guys have kind of seen or heard me talk about it. You may have seen a couple of my videos that I put on social media. GNSTV is live. It's ready. It's up. So if anybody has any content that you would like to get, some airtime, you're more than welcome to send it to me, and we can get uploaded. It's like I said, it's brand new, man. Right now, if you go to it, the page is kind of it's whatever the page is. It's just some imaging that's up there. But if you go to live TV, you'll see a lot of the promoting for the GNS collection that's on there. So I put stuff up there just so that way if you go to the website, you can see that there's actually some action going on up there. It's not just a blank site, a blank page, but it's working. So I'm proud of that. A lot of people still watch television. A lot of people still watch TV, man. So if you have any kind of commercial or content or anything like that you want to, anything you share on a reel or anything you share on Instagram or anything you share on Twitter, that's like a motion picture video type of thing, we definitely can put that up on the website or on the channel, if you will. and hopefully get you some exposure. Like I said, it's still brand new. I haven't put it out to the world, like majorly. I just broke it to a couple of people, and I'm putting it here on the podcast. So if anybody is interested in doing that, man, I would appreciate the support. I'm not at this time. I am not charging airtime. So if you kind of feel like I'm strapped for cash right now, I get it. So your boy is just trying to help everybody get on as much as possible, and do that. And I figured that once the ball gets rolling, then I can start, doing something when it comes to subscription, but or airtime. But right now it's a free subscription, so you can just go there and just sign up and not even look at the shit. I mean, I would appreciate that. It's GNSETV. G as in George, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, E as in Elephant, TV.com. So I would appreciate if you guys supported that as well. So had a conversation earlier, man, with some people, and we were just talking, just chit-chatting, just about life and everything. And, one thing led to another, and we were listening to a radio station, and they were talking about dating and how the dating game has changed and the world is different. And it's wild to me, man. It really is, because 20 years ago, I know it sounds like hella long ago. If you're like in your 20s, you're like, oh my God, that's my whole life. But, before Facebook, the dating world was a little bit different. What's creepy now used to be the norm back then, and no one really tripped off of it, right? It was wild. Like, one of the most interesting places for women to get catcalled or women to get approached is a gas station. Number two or number three, I believe, was the grocery store. And a lot of women, according to the survey, talked about how creepy that is, how weird that is, how strange that is. And I'm looking back in, 2002, 03, 04, 05, and I'm like, that's where a lot of gang got spit at. I mean, you at the gas station, you putting gas in your car, you ain't got nothing else to do. Somebody rolls up, you shoot your shot. Some you make it, some you don't. It's just weird how back then things were viewed less aggressively. Now it's viewed completely out of pocket, right? One thing that about me is, as I get older, it is sleeping a little bit. It's slipping. I'm not going to say it's not. But my memory was always a component that I felt was good, where you could tell me something, in X amount of weeks or X amount of months later, I would remember it. Nowadays, man, that's viewed as creepy. Now that's viewed as a turnoff. Now you look at a stalker. For example, if a guy remembers where he, you guys are out and about, and your favorite color, how he'll relate it to the environment that you were in. You guys were, you were at this restaurant, you had ordered this meal, and you were doing this. We had this conversation, and you said, my favorite color is this. And every time I order this, I get this. It makes him think of your favorite color. Before, women used to look at that kind of thing like, wow, that's a lot of, he remembered. And it used to be a sign of you paid attention. It used to be a sign of you care. And some women used to get this feeling that, hey, no matter what I say to him, no matter what I call him, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I understand that he knows what I want. Even if I don't, he gets it. He's going to figure it out. Nowadays, if you tell somebody something that they told you a few months ago, they can't remember. And it's almost like a turnoff that you do and they don't. And it just comes around like completely inappropriate. I remember also where a person would send you, a picture of them, and if you had your photo that you got from them as your screensaver on your phone or your laptop, right? Or, or your computer, if you still have one of those at work, and they came by or you showed them, it's like, hey, I want to show you something. Like, you're my screensaver. Most people then will be like, damn, okay, like this is serious. Like he's got me. Every time they use their phone, they see me, they think about me. Okay, cool. Nowadays, man, you show somebody a picture of them at the screensaver, it bugs them out. You get blocks. And I know that there's different cases for different type of scenarios. I get that part. I understand. There's no, it's 100% no absolute, but it's still kind of amazing how just a generation later, what used to be flattery is now looked at as harassing. It's interesting. I think it's because some people just took it a little too far and the word got out and it became a stigma. It's the same thing when it comes to a good woman, right? Or a good man. It's viewed as, everybody wants one, but then when you get one, you don't know how to handle one. And so it's just very interesting how the dating scene nowadays is a little bit different. And it kind of goes back to the communication stuff. We talked about a lot. We had a pretty cool conversation, like I said, in the radio thing. Talked about that. And it took me back to when I was doing security, how, there's some women who are the aggressors, and there is no problem with talking to somebody at a gas station. I think it all depends on how you approach them. And I think it all depends on how they perceive it. Like there's some people who are just jerks with it. They don't know how to speak to people. They have no people skills, no mannerisms. So they kind of ruin it for everybody, which makes it hard to approach somebody. Talking to somebody at a grocery store is no different than talking to somebody at a bar. You just got to, know your audience. You got to just pick your shots. And I think what happens is nobody understands social cues anymore. And so the dating scene becomes a little hard. But I also made the comment earlier to the person. I said, catcalling in the 80s and 90s is what memes are to the 20s. If you really pay attention. Because what is a meme? Everyone knows what a meme is, but when a person sees a meme and it's funny, and you have this lineage of funny memes, one of the fastest ways to a woman's heart is to make her laugh, right? What was that one meme where a woman's like, I hate funny guys, because 1 minute you're laughing, then ha, 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 boom, you're naked, right? That's what catcalling was. I mean, if anyone remembers the movie Boys in the Hood, when Trey is telling Furious the story with him and Rick kicking it, and old girl approached him while they're outside. Like, they were catcalling. She got out the car and approached Trey. I mean, ask your moms. If your mom's is lucky enough to still be around, ask her, Mama, did you ever get catcalled when you were younger? Watch her face light up. Watch her take that pride of like, oh my God, they were a den of wolves when I was your age. Men were just wolves after just meat. They said any, and asked, well, what did Dad say to you to get you interested? And she's gonna give you a whole story about how your father, in a sense, catcalled her. That's what memes are today. So the thing hasn't really changed. It's just the method has changed a little bit. Like, if that makes any sense to everybody, right? So you still get catcalling. You just post it in a funnier way online on social media, where there's now a digital evidence of what happened. That's the bottom line. But again, also with security, I've seen people do mixed signals, man. Because back in the day, what Aaliyah say, if you don't at first succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Some women wanted people to be more persistent. Like the first rejection, you walked away from that. She's like, I ain't dealing with a dude like that. He gave up too easy. Some women want you to work for it, right? Nowadays, it's harassment. I feel, think, and believe the best way to eliminate any confusion is to legit be upfront with the person. You know, ladies, if you are being approached by a guy and he's running some kind of yin yang on you, right? All you gotta do is like, look, I respect it. I respect the effort. I respect the courage. I respect the gesture. Right now, it's not a good time for me. I'm not interested. Well, you know what I'm saying? Listen, boo, I'm not trying to come off rude. I understand that, you came, I get it, but I'm not into it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the compliment you gave, and be done with it. And that's all you should be able to say to the dude. Now, fellas, when you get rejected, don't fly off the handle and start calling her all kind of names, bro, because she was not that when you approached her, so she should not be that once you leave her. It's pretty simple, right? She's still the same woman you wanted to get at, so respect it, because maybe now is not the time. Maybe stuff's going on in her life right now that she's not focused on that. Just play your part and be cool and move on to the next and keep it PI and be good with that. But with the dating scene, like it's so weird. It's so weird how once again something was cool, now it's not. I think people kind of just need to be a little bit more respectful when it comes to communication and dating and all that fun shit. I think the world will be a little bit of a happier place. Last thing I want to bring up on the podcast tonight is I definitely want to wish everyone out there to be safe, man. I went to go see Doctor Strange last Tuesday, right? And there was a dude inside the movie theater who came in. He had like this vest on. It was like a camouflage fatigue vest. And he had these sunglasses on. So first thing that popped in my mind was, oh shit, for real? It's going to go down today? This is how I'm going to go out? So I'm sitting in the very last row in the middle. And I'm watching whoever enters the theater. Now it was like a 10:45 showing on a Tuesday. So it really wasn't that many people. But when the movie started, my man's got up and he walked out the theater. And naturally, again, my brain went to, oh shit, what's he doing? Why's he getting up? And this is, right after I found out about the situation in Buffalo, right? So I'm like, man, I couldn't even enjoy the movie. Doctor Strange, Madness in the Multiverse, I'm telling you right now, I gave it on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave that film a 7. Not because it wasn't good. But it's because I couldn't focus on the film because the guy in front of me with the camouflage vest and sunglasses kept getting up and walking out of the theater. The fact of the matter is, all this shit is happening and you just don't know when. And you don't know how, and you don't know where, and it's scary. It's fucking nerve-wracking, right? It's extremely nerve-wracking. When you had the Dave Chappelle dude, I forgot his name already, but he himself admitted the reason why he attacked Dave Chappelle is because he was inspired by the Will Smith slap. I don't know if he's telling the truth. I don't know if that's a valid statement. I don't know if he's just saying that just to troll the rest of us for some more celebrity. I don't know. But all I do know is this. I couldn't enjoy myself because of what happened in Buffalo, New York. And I'm here in the West Coast. You feel me? So I just want everybody out there, be careful and be safe. I got people telling me this shit all the time when I'm on the phone with them. And first thing I want to do is shut that shit down because I'm a man. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. But in all seriousness, though, y'all need to be safe out there, man. Like road rage, calm that shit down. You're gonna get there, but we don't need you cutting off people, making them slam on their brakes, and getting rear-ended by a car just because you don't want to stop going 85 miles per hour on the freeway at 3:30 in the afternoon. That's not our fault. Slow your punk ass down. Okay? Use your signal. If you see an opening, you want to jump on to the next lane, signal and get over. And if you see someone signaling, yellow does not mean speed up. That's only for street lights, not for directionals. You feel me? Let the person get over, man. Like, everybody's wound up tight right now. Everybody's wound up tight. And if you notice that there are so many more mass shootings happening, we do not need to create a problem with something if we are able to at least de-escalate that aspect of people losing their lives on freeways and on the streets. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. If anyone feels that they're having a mental breakdown, Lord knows, call somebody. Call somebody. I'd rather hear your bitching about what's bothering you than to hear your eulogy or your sentencing. I'd rather that. Simple as that. Okay? If y'all could just be cautious and careful with everything, man, it'd be greatly appreciated. Because like I said, everybody's going through it. Not one person here on this side of the tax bracket, but the rest of us is walking around peaches and cream. Everybody's stressed out, from significant others to gas prices to work schedules to the heat to everything, yo. So just make sure you tell someone you love them. Make sure that you at least send that message to somebody. Hey, yo, you was on my mind. Just want to let you know you cool. See if you cool, you good, everything all right. Ain't talked to you in a while. Keep in touch, because you just never know, and that's the sad part about everything. I do want to say, no, I think that's basically it. I just want everyone to be safe. Yeah, nothing really else to it. Next project I got going on, just so you guys know, I think I talked to you guys already about this before, is I'm working with athletes. So pretty soon, your boy is going to start having professional athletes endorsing the shoe line, Run These Streets. And I want to give a shout out to RJ, to Randy Cabral's son. He's a cornerback for Boise State. And so he's going to be shutting down people. I can't wait to go to a Boise State, Fresno State game. So, RJ, if you or your pops listening, tickets to see y'all and the Bulldogs go at it. That'd be dope. Or if you're going against Berkeley, that'd be dope. I want to see something. So, that's pretty much it. Listen, I'm trying to go ahead and get the webcam so I can start having guests on the podcast, because that's starting to become a thing. Like I said, if you guys can just hold on just a little bit tighter for a little bit longer, I promise this podcast thing, I'm still getting the hang of it. I haven't mastered it just yet, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with it. Just sometimes, your boy's tired. But I definitely appreciate the love for everything that you guys are showing and making it happen, man. So, Mild Clothing got some new stuff coming out pretty soon. I think the promotion for the Icy Blue design. God, that shit is so dope. That Icy Blue is just stupid. I love it. I think the Icy Blue hat is just, it's just, yeah. So, yeah, I want to do that. Oh, shout out to Miss Alicia Blum. She is a teacher for in the Bay Area, and she has like a just stay strong, girl. Just keep doing what you're doing with the gummies. And I want to give a shout out to Tanya Molly and her photography company, because she's doing it big from what I've heard, and she has like some kind of book donation where you can go to. I don't know where it's at exactly. If you can get a hold of Tanya Molly Photography, find out where that is. Where it's like a shelf or whatever where you can get books and leave books, take books. I believe that's what she got going on. So if anybody out there who likes to read, some of you motherfuckers who don't know how to read, it'd be a great way for you guys to start that trend. So that'll be pretty dope. Anyway, follow me on social media. E.I.T.H.R, E.I.T.H.R, Instagram, Twitter. All right, y'all. Be good till next time. I'm out.
Hello, my name is Candace Romero, and it has been my absolute privilege and honor to be teaching people about doTERRA's essential oils for the last 9 years and helping people live their most vibrant life. If you'd like to learn more about my natural solutions, please feel free to contact me on Facebook at Bay Area Terra Tribe Essential Oils and Natural Solutions, or check out my website, my.doterra.com/Romero. That's my.doterra.com/ROMERO. Thank you.